Hey everyone, thank you for joining me today. So I'm often asked about how to prevent getting sick when traveling. This is a really common question I get in my work. I have been privileged to travel a lot and to continue to travel a lot. And I've done a lot of medical work in many places in the world, in cities and also in a lot of rural areas in Kenya and Haiti, in Venezuela, in the South American Amazon, and more recently, more and more in Southeast Asia. And all of those trips have given me a lot of experience in keeping healthy while I'm trying to keep others healthy. I want to share with you some of the lessons I've learned. So here are my top 5 natural ways of not getting sick when you are traveling. Number one has to do with before you even travel. And that is to get enough rest and keep stress low before your trip. This is a really big issue. Many people, before they go on a trip, they want to see their loved ones and see as many people as they can before they go on that trip. They are crossing their T's and dotting their I's. They're trying to get their schedule cleared up for the trip. So they're doing a lot of work usually. And this is one of the worst things to do before a trip, because what happens is you become sleep deprived and you're stressed. And all that is the perfect storm for sickness. And that is because the prime way of keeping yourself healthy is to have a healthy immune system. And your immune system really gets a kick in the pants, so to speak, when you are sleep deprived and overstressed. And so many people are like this before the trip. And I hear so many times, I'll get the sleep on the plane. I'll get my rest on the plane. And the problem with that thinking is that planes, trains, public automobiles, they are petri dishes. They are mediums for so much circulating bacteria, virus, just illness. There are people hacking and coughing next to you on a plane. You see this regularly. So it's really important that your immune system is strong when you get on that plane, train, automobile to fight off these circulating microbial agents. This is why it's so important to get the sleep and rest and keep your stress low as much as possible before you take that trip. Tip number 2 is when you get to your point of destination, when you get to your travel place. And it's very similar to tip number 1, which is really try to not overschedule, especially that first week there. And this is also really challenging for many people because we get somewhere and we want to see all the sights and we want to meet all the new people. And we're so excited about this beautiful new place. But it's really important that during that first week that you take the time to get your body acclimated to this new place. A big part of that is sleep. So many people will say, well, I'm going to this place, I'm going to the Caribbean, I'm going to West Africa, I'm going to South America for just a week. So I really want to take advantage and I want to go to all the parties, or I want to go to all the events, I want to go to all the sites, and they don't get enough sleep. And I will put a link down in the description below for an article that I reviewed in my Performing Healing website on the vital link between sleeping and health, and how the less you sleep, the more dis-ease you have. And so it's very easy to get sick if you're not well rested. So under schedule when you are on your trip as much as possible, especially during those first few days to week. My tip number 3 has to do with your food. This is so important. I will share with you that before I changed my diet to a plant foods, whole foods diet, about 7 years ago now, I frequently would get sick when I would travel. I would go somewhere, and if I was there for a month, usually I would get sick at least once. And if I was there for a year, I would get sick at least twice. And this is normal, if not better than most people when they travel. Since I changed my diet, I rarely get sick. I haven't gotten sick from an infectious agent in the past 7 years. So that's huge. And that all has to do with eating a fruit-based plant foods, and in my case, living foods diet. This is so vital because fruits and vegetables are antioxidant rich, and that means they are full of infectious fighting agents. So it's so vital that you get that into your system and that you're eating a lot of that when you are traveling. And that's what my diet is. It's also important that you avoid the foods that can really slow your system down and that are also big carriers for disease. And that really is animal products. And the plant foods, again, have the antioxidants that the animal products a lot of times do not have. So people know that they should be eating fruits and vegetables, but many people are worried about eating fruits and vegetables, especially raw fruits and vegetables when they're traveling. And I understand that. What I want to say to you is that if you're eating a lot of fruits and vegetables that are antioxidant rich, again, your immune system will be strong enough to fight off a lot of the microbial agents that are coming into your system. Here's a tip that we do when we are traveling, which is that most of the time we're eating peelable fruit, right? So bananas, papayas, pineapples, mangoes, durian, all our favorite foods are foods that we take off the skin before we eat what's inside. And a lot of fruit is just like this. So that's a really great tip for eating food and keeping it clean when you're eating your fruits and vegetables. Try to source organic whenever possible. If you want to clean your fruits and vegetables, 2 ways of doing that in a natural way are to use apple cider vinegar, and you can also use something called grapefruit seed extract. With apple cider vinegar, just use about, for a big basin of water with your produce in there, you can put about a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. For a big basin of water with your fruit in that, you can also put about 10 drops of grapefruit seed extract. I will say that neither of these agents will 100% remove bacteria and pesticides. So it's really important, again, to source as much as possible organic, and then try to eat a lot of peelable fruit, and try to just get your fruit from good sources. We love to go to farmers markets anywhere in the world and talk to the farmers to see how they're growing their food. We also love to go to farms and pick the fruit ourselves whenever we can. My 4th tip for staying healthy and preventing yourself from getting sick is to continue those practices, those self-care practices that you do at home that keep you healthy. So many of us, when we go traveling somewhere, we say, again, I've only got 1 week in this place, so I'm just going to eat whatever, I'm going to do whatever because I need to maximize my fun. But then it's not fun when you get sick. And so I really encourage you, if you love meditating when you are at home and that keeps you really centered, to continue that practice when you're traveling. If you eat a diet that keeps you really healthy, really as much as you can, maintain the principles of that diet when you are traveling. That is one of the biggest ways that I stay healthy. When I was working as a physician for Doctors Without Borders in West Africa, during those 9 months in Niger, every day I would have to go to the clinic and the hospital to take care of really sick children. And the thing that helped me really grounded was my daily dance and yoga practice that I would do every morning before going to the hospital. So doing those self-care practices that keep you grounded can be so helpful for preventing you from getting sick when you are traveling. My 5th and final top tip for naturally staying healthy and not getting sick is to respect the new home. Respect your new home and respect the practices of your new home. Respect the practices of the people in your new home. What I mean by that is that you get to be in a place where there are people who've been living there for decades, centuries. What are they doing that's keeping them healthy? Learn from them. Become a student of the new place you're living. I'll give you an example. When you're in a place, for example, in which there are a lot of mosquitoes, that's hot and humid and tropical, what are the practices people are doing to keep themselves safe from the illnesses that are mosquito-borne? Two of them are mosquito nets and also wearing long-sleeved, thin but long-sleeved clothing. And we practice this a lot, and this goes a long way to keeping yourself well in these areas. Another example is the food people are eating and the herbs they're eating and the spices they're using. Get familiar with the herbs and spices that are used to keep people well in those environments. There's a lot of wisdom in that. When we go to Thailand, when we spend time in Thailand, we love eating papaya salads. And there's a lot of wisdom in eating this food that has been eaten by the locals for a long time. I will watch women use the pok pok, which is the mortar and pestle, to make local Thai papaya salads. And they almost always use, and I asked for it as well, garlic and hot chili peppers. And garlic and hot chili peppers are both anti-parasitic agents. So I have never gotten a parasite illness, and neither has my sweetheart, while we've been traveling in Thailand. And I attribute that in part to eating some of these local herb and spices that are used and that have natural antimicrobial agent properties in them. So take advantage of the natural powers that are in the herbs and spices of your new home. So those are my top 5 tips. I'm going to recap really quickly. Number 1 is to, before you even get on that plane, train, or automobile, to really get enough rest and reduce your stress. Number 2 is that when you get to your point of destination, to your travel place, to underschedule, to not overschedule. Number 3 is to eat a plant-based, healthy whole foods diet that's rich in antioxidants to keep your immune system as healthy as possible. Number 4 is to practice the self-care things that you do at home that keep you feeling centered and grounded. Bring those practices, the most important ones, with you. And last but not least, to be a student of the new place you're living in and learn from the environment and learn from those who live and know the environment and incorporate healthy practices from these places to keep you feeling your happiest and your healthiest. So I hope you found this video really helpful to you and useful. And if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Definitely share with anybody who you know that loves to travel, that's going to be traveling soon, anyone who you think could benefit from it. Also, please subscribe to my channel and click the notifications bell next to the subscribe button to get notified about when I have a new video coming out. And I just want to wish you happy travels and, as always, much love. Take care.